Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be back, and I hope this live video works because it has not been working for the last couple of days. I hope you all had a nice transition with the full moon and that it wasn't too hectic. I hope you had time to just be and rest and let things unfold naturally. Today I'm going to share a little bit about self-mastery. This is the video I wanted to share with you guys a few days ago. I was going to share a meditation about timeline merging. I got guided not to share that, but to share how to do certain meditations and more information about self-mastery, because whether you've accepted it or not, you are to become your own teacher, you are to become your own guru. This is a future for all of us, to be our own teacher, to be our own follower, to know our own truths. And thus we shall start practicing that. So self-mastery. We are opening up our abilities. We are opening, a lot of things are opening up to us that we don't even understand where the limits are to it, because there are no limits except for our imagination is the limit. So self-mastery and clearing of the canvas. Again, I mentioned this before. It's so important right now to clear the canvas, clear our shadow side, clear any energies we're holding on to, lessons we're holding on to, old stories, old programming, old emotions that are not serving us anymore, that we've been holding on to for a big chunk of our lives. And moving forward, it is not serving us. This is the time. We have this quiet time right now. Most of you may have, the possibility to just be alone for a while. You just have enough money to not have to work that much. So take this time right now, because this free time, this luxury of free time will not be. Very soon, and I mean very soon, in the next couple of months, a lot will start to change, and we will not have this time for ourselves. And this is the time that we get to clear the canvas. Clear and release all of this stuff that is not serving us anymore, that is of the old paradigm, that is of our 3D, of our lower chakras, and it can go. And what we don't let go of now, it will come up later. And in a few months, things are going to speed up so quickly you cannot even begin to imagine. And once things are speeding up, we'll be working so much as a teacher, as sharing, and all of these things that we will not have the time to clear the canvas as we do now. Astrologically, it's also perfect timing. So number one is just stop and just feel and allow things to come, allow things to pop up. If certain emotions pop up, memories, experiences, allow that to come. Notice it. Don't shy away from it. Don't ignore it. Don't go into avoidancy habits. But be with it. Acknowledge it. Feel it. The reason we hold on to, or the reason we have stuff to release, is because we've been holding on to old experiences and lessons that have happened in the past, and we're holding on to those things, childhood traumas, parental stories, past lovers, whatever it may be. When those experiences happened, what happened is we couldn't fully express and release. When we feel certain anger, sadness, etc., we are to fully feel it at that moment and fully express it to release it, so that we could be a channel. You could see it come and go, come and go. Just like meditations, you let the thoughts come and go. And as we do the same with our emotions. And when we don't, we store them. We store them in our body, in our cellular memory, in our etheric bodies. And as we don't deal with them and the years go by, they start to grow and grow and grow. They can even take on entities. They can take on diseases that you might be seeing in your body. And so it's important for us, when we go through certain experiences, to fully feel and fully let go. So it's been a few times now people have asked me, how do I let go of the past? How can I let go of, this situation with my past lover, etc.? First of all, change your language to I am releasing my past, or I am releasing my emotions with my father, or whatever it may be. Instead of I want to, I will, I'm going to, I don't know how. So our subconscious mind, which is connected to our intuition, our phobia, our creativity, our connection to spirit, our higher self, our subconscious mind is always listening, always awake. And it is like a 2-year-old child. Anything you tell it, literally, it'll suck up like that. So when you say, I will, I am trying to, I'm going to release, this anger or fear, you are literally telling yourself that you are not releasing it right now, and someday you may. So if you change your language to I am healing that trauma, I am releasing that pain, I am, having more forgiveness for myself, then your subconscious mind is taking that literally, and you literally are. So just by acknowledging what you want to release, what you want to heal, is step one. Just acknowledge it. I am healing or dealing with this. First of all, you notice what you want to heal. That's major already. A lot of us go through the day not knowing what to release. We have so much anger, etc. Other people may see it and we don't. So you notice what you want to release. Awesome. Acknowledge it. I am releasing this and thus pain. Next, what can we do? I'll tell you that 70% of the work of releasing is just acknowledging it and saying that you are doing it. Next is allowing any emotions, any memories, any feelings attached to that story to come up. Let it come. Don't push it away. Don't say, oh, I don't want to feel that way. No. Fully express, fully allow the anger, the sadness, fully allow it all to come up and go. Fully allow it to rise up in you and go, because that was what you couldn't do with that memory or that trauma back in the past, or you couldn't do it fully. So now you are. So let it come and go. And this may happen, you could do it in one go, or it may happen over, a period of a week or a couple of days or a month. These emotions may arise and you'll let go. And just fully embrace it, just fully allow yourself to cry or allow yourself to feel so you may release it. I tell you, 70% of the work is just knowing what you want to release. 30% of the work is easy. The action is easy. Just allow yourself to feel, let it go. At a certain point in time, it will be gone. Okay? Sounds really simple, and it kind of just is. It doesn't happen from one day to another, but just knowing that it is working and it is happening, and believing in that, in the flow of that. Okay, what else do we have on board? Yes, self-mastery. Lay down the books, lay down the internet, lay down any meditation apps, lay down any text, lay down everything that is telling you how to do something. You have a lot of knowledge, you've picked up a lot of knowledge. What was true and knowledge from the past may not be the knowledge of today. What am I trying to say with that? Consciousness evolves in cycles through time forward, right? So the information or the exercises or the certain meditations that served us in our consciousness 100 years ago don't particularly serve us today. Bits of it, truths of it may serve us today, but perhaps not in the exact same way. Our consciousness has gone forward, so we may be able to drop down into meditation way faster than we could 100 years ago. We may be able to do things a lot quicker. What may have taken 20 years to learn then takes us 1 year to learn now, okay? So let go of any restrictions and limitations that you're taking on by reading certain books, certain videos, certain old structures that may not be serving you right now. And they may. What I encourage you to do is find out for yourself. If you went, if you've been learning something and your intuition just says, oh, I could do this in 10 minutes. But well, the books say 30 minutes, so I shall do it. And oh, it's really hard and dragging on. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your higher self. That is spirit, your higher self speaking to you and telling you, the old doesn't serve, this serves now. We have to combine the wisdom of the old and combine it with the present to create the future, right? If we're only creating from our present moment, we're not taking all the teaching moments we had from the past that our ancestors had in the past. We're not taking that knowledge with us to the present. And if we're only working from the past information, then it doesn't really serve us, because our consciousness is a different consciousness than it was before, right? Cavemen were probably meditating or not meditating in a very different way than someone 100 years ago in Tibet, right? Different types of consciousness. So yeah, I just encourage you to slowly start letting go of looking for an elder, someone who knows more, a different book, a different school that knows more knowledge, because it's time to awaken that knowledge, that information within you, because you have the direct hotline to that information. You always have had, right? Learning through books, other people, schools, that is just dealing with an in-between medium to the same source of information. Now, you have the ability with your body, mind, and soul to have a direct line to that source of information. Why would you not take the direct line if you have that ability? And the more you use that direct line you have with source spirit, with all this information that's in the collective hard drive, in the Akashic records, if you will, many different names for it, the more you use that hotline, the stronger it will be, right? Okay, so yeah, the other important thing, just let go of limitations. Let go of the stories. Oh, I'm only 21 years old. I couldn't be able to do that. I haven't been studying meditation for 100 years. Well, you're not someone from before, and you are you, and times are changing, and they're moving fast, really, really, really quickly. So don't limit yourself. Oh, I can't have information about physics or science because I didn't study it, but somehow this information came to me. So start to trust in yourself, start to trust in the information you're receiving, start to trust in the higher self, start to trust in source, because for some reason, source, spirit, your higher self is giving you this information because they know you're ready. You may not know you're ready, but otherwise you wouldn't be receiving this information, right? So start to trust it. Self-mastery. If you don't already have a morning practice, get a morning practice. I know if you're going through the dark night of your soul and through a lot of energy changes, it might be really hard to move right now, and that's okay, but at least, just rest and breathe. But when you have the energy to get back into your practice, do that. For those of you who don't have a morning practice, guys, it's so important. It's so important, and I will do another video about why specifically in the morning and what kind of practice you could do. But I'm sure most of you already have that. And I would even edge, if you have a morning practice, start doing an evening practice. Go to bed 2 hours before you actually normally fall asleep, and do meditation, do breathing, laying, contemplation. Bring the whole day back to your mind and check that you, got all the signs and all the information that you needed to. Use this time, the morning and evening, to really deepen your practice, body, mind, and soul. Yeah. It's this time of really being in stillness for a long time, and you may be in stillness and you're like, oh, I'm bored, I want to watch a movie. Oh, I'm bored, I want to read something. Oh, I got to go do something. Sit through that, lay through that, breathe through that moment. Because when you really get into that stillness and you pass that moment, you're allowing a clean canvas, a clear canvas, a channel to open for spirit, source, or whichever beings you work with and parts of the universe you work with to come through and teach you. It's in many ways is you teaching yourself. But if we're always busy with distraction and different noise and music and movies and friends and parties to go to and whatever else is distracting you at that moment in time, we're not having an open gate for this connection to happen, for this interaction to happen, right? And this is the interaction of our conscious mind with our subconscious mind. This is the joining of the third dimension with the fourth dimension, the feminine with the masculine, you with your guides, so many other things, which I will get into more detail in the future. So let's carry along. Remember, when doing self-mastery, have love, compassion, and wisdom. Always with love and compassion and wisdom, you know? Don't compare yourself to anybody else, what they are able to do or what you're not able to do, because you are unique in your own way. We all have our unique qualities. So find out what your unique quality is, because yours is not the same as everybody else's, right? And we all have different ways how we learn and different timing, and our minds work differently. So have compassion and understanding for yourself and where you're at, okay? Use your dream time. When we sleep, guys, it's such an important time, and we can pre-program ourselves before going to bed to release, you know, you can release those fears, those anxieties, those old programs, stories. You can program yourself before sleeping to release those things. There's a lot of information online out there. I also strongly recommend detaching yourself from the day before going to sleep. Detach your energy on all etheric levels, on physical levels, with people you've dealt with, situations you've dealt with, the day that you've dealt with. Just detaching from everything so you can fully embrace your dream time. Self-mastery. So the 3 meditations that they wanted me to share with you is I talked about the timeline merging. So you can have a meditation where you can imagine yourself in the present. And I have a blank area space, so I imagine myself in the present moment. To the left, I see all my timelines of the past, so-called past. And then I see all my timelines of the so-called future. And I recognize them and I see them as much as I can, or imagine some of them that I don't even know. And I put out there the ones that are not matching the frequency and are not for my best and goodwill for this moment right now. They can collapse and they can be gone. And all these timelines that are out there that are a part of me, I imagine them merging into the present moment, into one line where I am now. This is this is one meditation. All right. Second one is merging of your higher self. If you have connected with your higher self, then you can you may have a visualization of your higher self. If you don't, maybe you want to start to visualize. If you don't have a relationship with your higher self, start meditating and inviting a relationship with your higher self. And when we do merging of our higher self, we can imagine that aspect of us coming down into who we are right now, or us coming up into who they are. We are merging from both sides into one person, right? Because our higher self, or our which is connected to our subconscious mind, has been disconnected from who we are today. So when we connect our conscious and subconscious mind, when we bring that balance back, as we're bringing the feminine and the masculine balance back within ourselves, we are merging our higher and let's say lower selves together to make a more fuller aspect of ourselves. A higher selves, you know, the little voice that said, oh, don't take a left, that's the wrong way. But our conscious lower self said, no, it's the right way. And then an accident happened. You're like, ooh, I should have listened to myself. That higher self, right? Start merging into one. Because so many times our higher self is saying one way, and then we're kind of going the other way, and we just don't seem to learn. Or we sometimes listen and oftenly, then we don't, and we're like, oh darn, I should have listened to myself. I knew this was going to happen. So merging of your higher self will help strengthen your understanding, your intuition, and your connection. Merging of the new world paradigm. I spoke about this in a different video, that it would be beneficial to start picturing, visualizing what this future can look like, what the future new world can look like, what this paradigm looks like, what your place in that story is, and start putting that out, putting that timeline out, that frequency out. And when you can visualize it, then start to merge that into a closer present time, more into the now. If we are visualizing that the world is going to come to an end, and apocalypse is going to happen and everyone's going to die, that's a vibration you're putting out, that's a certain frequency you're putting out, and that's putting energy into that reality. And the more we put energy or focus into something, the more that we create that. So don't create a fearful world. Let's create something else. Let's co-create the new paradigm through our thoughts, our imagination, our manifestation. They're not separate. Okay? Imagination, as Disney World or whatsoever has made us to understand, is also a trap. Imagination is where our power lies, but we've been told that imagination is just a fugazi thing that doesn't exist. And that is not true. More about that in another video. So those are 3 different meditations. First time you might want to do an hour on each, or half an hour, or 15 minutes on each, and you can even really get it real quick and just do them, 2-3 minute visualization 2-3 times a day, of all of them, up to you. Make it your own, find your own truth in it. Then just a reminder of finding balance of self-love and love for others. Finding balance that we are not greater than, nor are we worse than anybody else. We are all bricks in one wall, and we all come from the same wall. And every brick has a unique, different function. One is, in the bottom, and one is an A squadron section B. Other one is A squadron section 6. And without every brick, there wouldn't be the wall. So every brick is as important as the other. So know that for others, and know that for yourself. Then just a lot of centering, a lot of grounding is so vital. Go out in nature every day, have a walk around barefoot, connect to, why do we do this? Grounding. If you don't know about grounding, if you don't know about earthing, please look it up. Very important, as we have contact with the earth, with the ground, with nature, not through rubber soles, but through our feet or any other organic matter. We are connecting to the frequency of the earth. This is the Schumann frequency. This is a frequency where our bodies are made out of, and it helps to strengthen our energy, our etheric body, our aura, our light body, helps us to be connected. So use that. Daily walks in nature would be great. And I really recommend, more and more so, when you're going in between tasks or meeting between people, I recommend just connecting to your breath. Just breathe, and if you can, do a heart centering breath, or breathing through your heart, so up through the root, and exhale through the heart, and just holding that breath, or the meditation I mentioned to you before, where we are breathing from Mother Earth and Father Sky, breathing into our heart center and then out. Using heart-based meditations are really good, because that is what the 4th and 5th density are about. The 4th density to get to the 5th density can only happen when we are in the frequency of the heart, and our heart fully opens. I'll talk also more about that in a different video. So what else? Yes. If you have any free time and you don't know what to do, and you're bored, go back to your breath, self-mastery, connect to your guides, connect to any memory that may need healing, and work with it. Work on your forgiveness, your healing, letting go, releasing. Any moment you have on the bus whatsoever. So, and know that sometimes doing absolutely nothing and just resting and just fully just, feeling that is also self-mastery, the art of just letting go and letting it be what is, and letting all these energies that are happening on us on different dimensions, multi-dimensional energies and clearings that are happening, just letting that work and trusting that process. And then getting connected with our checking out or avoidancy methods would be really helpful so that we can catch ourselves. So if you used to avoid your emotions or problems by eating, drinking, alcohol, cigarettes, joints, whatever it was, whatever it may be, sex, seeing friends, getting distracted by TV, know your avoidancy habits and work through them so that the next time you are engaging in any avoidancy habits, you can call yourself out, say, hey, I'm engaging in eating 10 Kit Kats right now. I'm totally being avoidant. There's probably something I'm dealing with. Maybe I should go deal with that. And maybe you're not ready to deal with it at that moment in time, but at least you called yourself out. And perhaps the next time or the next time or the next time after that, you will be ready to deal with it. So still have compassion with yourself as you get to learn your avoidancy habits. Yeah, I think that's all for now. I hope this video helps. Have an awesome day, guys. It's a wonderful time to be alive. So upwards and onwards. Bye.